Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable. And you know you can overcome any health challenge. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we welcome your calls on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470. Or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. That's brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470. And you can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team by calling 866-735-2470 or clicking on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com for a one-time $30 fee. You can have a longevity business and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, or just get your products at the wholesale price if that's what you want to do. But if you're in the business mindset, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to make a little bit of money, or a lot of money for that matter, part-time job, full-time job, or if you just want to help other folks and get your expenses paid, you can write off your mileage, you can write off your office, you can write off part of your rent if you use your home as an office. It's a great business opportunity for folks who are business-minded. It's not easy necessarily. It's a project. It's like any business. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to have the entrepreneurial mindset. But if you do have the entrepreneurial mindset, there is no better raw material for you to sell. There's no better resource or asset for you to sell than longevity nutritional supplements, than longevity products. You can call 866-735-2470 for more information, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. All right, we've been talking about the skin, but not just the skin. The skin as a representative of the rest of the body. As goes the skin, so goes the rest of the body. If you have a skin problem, you pretty much have something going on inside your body. Skin problems, like any other problems, are blood problems, with the exception of what are called contact issues. And occasionally that can happen. But even when those happen, there's usually a predisposition that's starting off in the circulatory system. All disease is cell disease, and all cell disease is preceded by sticky, dirty, yucky blood. Skin is no different. But because we can see stuff on the skin, it's a completely different kettle of fish than our liver, our kidneys, or our heart, because we can see it. And this leads to this misguided idea that is an anachronism, that is from a time gone by, that whatever you see on the skin, you can rub something on the surface and take care of it. This is a simplistic, naive, and really very ignorant, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in just an ignoring fact way. And I mean that like an insult, in an ignoring fact way, to think that you can rub a cream on the surface and take care of your skin disease. Now, in fairness, there are some things we can do topically, symptomatically, and there are some things we can do topically nutritionally. But you have to know what you're doing. I've been working on using the skin as a route of administration for nutrients for a long time, and this is something that pharmacists study, how to use the skin as a route of administration to the lower levels. But you got to know what you're doing. You can't just rub stuff on the surface. You've got to understand how cells work. You got to understand the structure of the skin. And you don't have to be an anatomy expert. You don't have to be a physiologist. You just have to know, for example, that the skin is layered. It doesn't look like it's layered, but it's layered. If you can picture baklava or a layer cake, you can picture the layered nature of the skin. You don't have to be a scientist. Just picture the layered nature of the skin. Now picture the cells that are doing the work at the bottom layers. That's all you really need to do is understand that the cells that do the work are at the bottom and they're protected by the top. And so navigating, getting an ingredient that will navigate, or having a formulation that will allow ingredients to navigate to the bottom is critical. This navigation is what assures that you're going to have an effect. Now, in pharmacy, we're interested in navigating into the blood. But in skincare, we want to navigate not into the blood, but just to the tippy top, the bottom of the tippy top. There's 3 layers. You got the surface, the very tippy top, which is very thin, about 1/10 of a piece of notebook paper. And then you've got the layer underneath, which is about 1 piece of notebook paper. And then you got the layer underneath that, which is about 9 pieces of notebook paper. And the whole organ called the skin is about 10 pieces of notebook paper thick. 10.1 pieces of notebook paper thick. Just take 10 pieces of notebook paper and you can see. Now, that's pretty darn thin for an organ. That's a pretty interesting organ when you think about it. It's an organ that's spread out from head to toe. It's an organ. We all say it's an organ. It's the body's largest organ. It's an organ that's spread out from the top of your head, your scalp, to the bottom of your feet. And this organ is about as thick, this whole organ, which is spread out from top of the head, bottom to the bottom of the feet, is about 10 pieces of notebook paper thick. And all the good stuff is located underneath the first piece of notebook paper, basically. The bottom of the first piece of notebook paper. So just picture this. Now, to an ingredient, a molecule, and to a cell, that's a large distance. To us, it's not. And that's why we get some effects. No matter what we put on the surface of the skin, we're going to get a little bit of effect because it's not that thick. But to really get the good effects, you've got to have certain criteria. You've got to meet certain standards. Skin is not just going to accept anything. After all, it's a barrier. That's its main role. Yes, it's thin, and some stuff is going to get through, but its main role is as a barrier. If you want to get through to the bottom, you've got to have certain standards. Number one, the ingredient that you're trying to navigate through to the bottom, to where the cells are, has to be fatty. It has to have a fatty nature to it. Everything in nature is either watery or fatty. Water and oil don't mix. Fat means oil. Everything's either watery or oily. The ingredients have to have an oily nature in order for them to navigate effectively to the cells. Then the ingredients have to be friendly. They have to be recognized. They have to have a chemical structure that's familiar, that looks like something the skin recognizes. And thirdly, you got to have enough of it to pound it through, to get it through, to push it through. That's why most skincare products don't really have a big effect, because they're not friendly molecules that the skin recognizes or the cell recognizes. They're not, they are fatty sometimes, but they're not always fatty. The active ingredients aren't always fatty, and they never put enough of them, never put enough stuff in there. And that's why most skincare products don't work. That's why most people are not satisfied with their skincare products. That's why we have a skincare business, because if everybody was satisfied, we wouldn't have a zillion companies. It wouldn't need a zillion companies if everybody was satisfied. Everybody's always looking for the next greatest thing. You're always hearing about the next greatest thing. There's not a lot of greatest things in terms of skin ingredients that you should use. And there's not a lot, there's only a certain amount of nutrients that you need. There's a finite amount of nutrients, and there's a finite amount of ingredients that you need. For the skin, it's basically just a few, 3 or 4. Most skin ingredients, if they get a little bit of effect, they're not getting the kind of effect that you want permanently to change the nature of the cell. If it's not going to be a vitamin or a mineral or an alpha or beta fruit sugar acid, a hydroxy acid we'll call it. Those are the main ingredients: hydroxy acids, minerals, and vitamins, specifically vitamin C and vitamin A. Not all vitamins work, but, all of them all have some effect, but not all vitamins really, really work. Vitamin C and vitamin A kick butt. A lot of the B vitamins can work a little bit if you have the right chemical structure, but for the most part, vitamin C, vitamin A, minerals, and alpha hydroxy acid, your big 4 ingredients, or hydroxy acids, we'll say. Okay, we're back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. Longevity products can be had at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. We have videos and blog posts, news stories on all our websites, and also our Moment of Truths are up at criticalhealthnews.com. Thank you, Jonty, for setting that up. I do a Moment of Truth every morning, which is a little 60 to 90 second health bite, health tip, or something that I read about or find interesting. They're not all up. We're getting them up on criticalhealthnews.com, but they are all up on our Facebook page, which is The Bright Side with Pharmacist Ben. Love to have you follow our page. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live, hopefully tomorrow. I'm working on getting that set up for tomorrow, and then maybe one on Saturday. So if you want to be notified when we do our Facebook Live, it's a great place for me to be able to answer questions and talk about things a little bit more in depth than I get to on this radio program. It's also a great way for me to see who's out there in the world of Facebook or in the world of The Bright Side. If you're interested, go to the Facebook page, The Bright Side with Pharmacist Ben, and you can just check out all our posts and videos, or you can actually follow the page and be notified when we have new posts, as well as when we do our Facebook Lives. If you want to purchase Truth Skin Health products, go to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com, everything your skin needs and nothing it doesn't for healthy and beautiful skin, beautiful skin, in that order. Healthy first and then beautiful, because health precedes beauty. You can't have beauty without health. You can only have faux beauty, fake beauty, synthetic beauty, pretend beauty, but you can't have real beauty unless you have healthy skin. So we take care of the health of the tissue using nutrients that address the health of the cell. It's all about the cell. Vitamin C, vitamin A, alpha hydroxy acids, and also minerals, and also amino acids and a few other things. But the work is being done by the alpha and beta hydroxy acids, vitamin C and vitamin A, and the minerals. That's doing the heavy lifting. Check out all our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. And now we have, I have been advised by my webmaster, Robert Lundgren, that truthnnourishment.com is also up and running. Truthnnourishment.com got various and sundry health, nutritional supplements and health products that are hard to find, things that I personally like, but you can't really find in a lot of places, and I'm trying to compile them, accumulate them at truthnnourishment.com, truthnnourishment.com. All right, so we're talking about the skin, anti-aging the skin, beautifying the skin, changing the health of the skin is a function of exercising the skin with alpha and beta hydroxy acids, and then nutriating the skin with vitamin C, vitamin A, and minerals. That's a standard anti-aging / health protocol for the skin. Topical protocol for the skin. Topical. You got to do the internal stuff too. So this is the topical protocol, which is about 20 or 30% of the program. You stimulate it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week with alpha or beta hydroxy acids. If you use our Truth products, you know about our Truth Energizing AHA Exfoliator. They call it exfoliating because it means exfolia. You're removing cells off of the surface. Cells are like leaves. Foliage is like leaves. Exfolia means to remove leaves. You remove the cells, that triggers a growth response. But you want to have the nutrients present to fuel that growth response. The nutrients are the vitamin C and the vitamin A, and the minerals. Those are the main nutrients. And of course, it goes without saying that you got to be taking care of your internal stuff. But topically, vitamin C, vitamin A, and the minerals. Those sustain the growth that's initiated or triggered or activated by your alpha and beta hydroxy acids. You cannot help but have beautiful skin if you do this correctly. You will always improve your skin condition if you do this correctly. Now, when I say do this correctly, I mean you got to have a little savvy. You got to speak skin. You got to feel the skin. You've got to sense the skin. You've got to sense when you want to put some stimulating stuff, and you got to sense when you want to back off. That's the hardest part, because we're not attuned to our bodies. We're not attuned to our skin like we're not attuned to our bodies. That's a huge, huge problem. We don't live in our bodies, even though we obviously live in our bodies. Our attention is not in our bodies. When I say we don't live in our bodies, we don't pay attention to our bodies. We haven't learned to have body awareness. Body awareness will always tell you what to do and what not. Having good body awareness will always inform you of what to do and what not to do. Body awareness and skin awareness. When to exercise, when to rest. It's true about the inside of the body, and it's true about the outside of the body. Stress is not a bad thing. It's just when stress is thrown in without paying attention. Stress is not on its own not a problem. It's when we don't pay attention to the stress. We don't understand the stress because we don't understand how our bodies are put together. We're not living in the physical form. We don't inhabit our bodies consciously, and we don't inhabit our skin consciously. That's why we're always surprised when there's a relationship between our food and our skin, although less and less. When I first started talking about it, people thought I was crazy. Are you serious? What does the intestine have to do with the digestive system? Well, just paying a little bit of attention, you'll see you break out when you eat certain foods. Or you don't feel good when you eat certain foods. Or your allergy testing is the classic example of lack of body awareness. I'm going to have the doctor test me to see if I'm allergic to dairy. Why do you have to have a test to see if you're allergic to dairy? Eat some dairy and see how you feel. That's your test. But we go outside of ourselves to have an authority tell us what's going on inside our body because we don't live in our bodies, even though we live in our bodies. We don't pay attention to our bodies. So paying attention to the skin will help you understand how much stimulus or stress to put on the skin vis-a-vis or compared to the amount of nutrients that you put on your skin. That's pretty much it, folks. If you have a skin disease, you may not want to be too stimulating. For example, if you have psoriasis or if you have eczema, you may not want to be too stimulating on the skin. You maybe want to back off on the skin if your immune system is active. I know people who have active skin, and when I say active skin, I mean red, I mean rashy, I mean pimply, I mean inflamed. You can see active skin, and they'll do an alpha hydroxy acid peel on their active skin. That's a classic example of lack of body awareness. If you have inflamed active skin, you don't want to put more activity on your skin. You want to back off. You want to maybe put some antioxidants, some nutrients on your skin. There's an overlap between antioxidants and between nutrition, and a lot of nutrients work via antioxidation. So you want to put vitamin C on your skin. You don't want to put retinol on active skin because retinol is very stimulating. But you do want to put vitamin C, maybe zinc, on the skin. These are very calming. They have an ability to spread electrical energy or dilute electrical energy. It's not exactly what they do, but in essence, they dilute the electrical energy, the abundance of electrical energy. They put out the fire, so to speak. So you got to have a sense of what's happening in the skin, just like you have to have a sense of what's happening in the body. In the body, this balance between stress and rest is very, very important to recognize. Stress is not bad. It's only when it comes without rest. It's the balance of stress and rest, the yin and yang of stress and rest. If you ever see the yin-yang symbol, it's like the yin pours into the yang and the yang pours into the yin. It's a circle, and that's how stress and rest work. Stress leads to rest, and rest leads to stress, and stress leads to rest, and rest leads to stress. It's a big circle, or at least it should be. But if you have this circle understand the nature of the circle, if you're taking advantage of the circle, you will always have benefits from this stress and rest, yin-yang kind of juxtaposition, how the two are connected, to each other. And then you feed the whole thing with nutrients. That's how health is on the outside. That's how health is on the inside. That's how our mental health is too. You want a little bit of mental stress, and then you want rest. You want to make sure you're nutriating the whole system with correct information as well as correct nutrition. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side with lines open for you, 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about skin health or any other health issues or the longevity products, comment or success story you'd like to share, we love hearing from you. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470 or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And also ask about joining the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. You can be in business for yourself, start a longevity business, make some money, or if you just want to help change the world, you can do that as well. And I'm not kidding. Change the world one health challenge at a time. And literally, health challenges can disappear, especially if people have never been on a supplement program. Literally, health challenges can disappear once they get on a good nutritional supplement program. All right, we got lots of lines open, 844-236-6010. We'll continue talking about the skin tomorrow. And I'm not done talking about the vagus nerve. We'll talk about strategies for leveraging the vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, the link between the mind and the body, the major player in what's called the autonomic or automatic nervous system that controls all of the biological functions that we don't think about, our digestion, our liver functioning, our breathing, our heart rate, etc., that all have a major impact on health. We'll continue talking about the vagus nerve and the 10th cranial nerve and skin health as we continue on discussing how the skin is an icon, an emblem for the rest of the body, and how you can take care of the skin and take care of the rest of the body at the same time, how you can take care of the rest of the body and take care of the skin at the same time for healthy, beautiful skin, which everybody wants. All right, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls in a minute. This one is from the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom, exploring the molecular mechanisms of metformin, a diabetes drug with medieval roots. Metformin is the go-to diabetes prescription drug. It's the first thing that people will get when they're on it, when they have a diabetes. It's the first-line therapy for treating diabetes pharmacologically. And it turns out that this wonder drug is also thought to have some anti-aging benefits, and some anti-gout benefits, and some liver health benefits. Why do you suppose a diabetes drug would have anti-aging benefits and longevity-inducing benefits and benefits for your liver and benefits for obesity and all of these benefits for gout, all of these multiple benefits? Why would an anti-diabetes drug, let's ask ourselves, why would a drug that works on my diabetes also work on my gout and also work on my longevity and also work on my liver and also work on my obesity? Why? Because of the blood sugar connection. The blood sugar connection is the relationship between elevated blood sugar and all health challenges, not just gout, but arthritis and irritable bowel syndrome and cancer itself and heart disease and elevated cholesterol. When you lower your blood sugar, when you strengthen your insulin, you live longer, and you don't need a drug like metformin to do it. In fact, even though metformin may have benefits for gout because it's helping you control your sugar, your liver still has to clear it out, has to process it out. Metformin, it has the active ingredient in metformin has been known about since the early 20th century. It wasn't until like the 1960s, I believe, or so, somewhere in there, 1960s, 1970s, that it came out as a drug. But actually, the active ingredient in metformin has been around since medieval times, something called guanidine. Guanidine is a very interesting amino acid that's found in bat poop. Guano, they call it. Bat feces, guano. It's very similar to guanidine. They used to use it in your hair. There was a bat, and I'm not kidding you here, there was a bat poop facial people were doing to help people with their skin. And they use it for hair, too, because of the guanidine content. Guanidine's got interesting cosmetic properties. Well, it turns out the guanidine, which is found in goat's rue, you can get goat's rue on the internet, too, by the way. Goats, G-O-A-T-S, goat's rue, R-U-E. You can get that on the internet, and that's got natural guanidine in it. So if you're on metformin, you might want to try using some goat rue, also known as French lilac. It wasn't until the 1960s that metformin came out as an official drug. They started studying it in the 1950s, probably 1940s, 1950s. Somewhere in about the 1960s, it became a drug. And to this day, 50 years later, 70 years later, 60, 70 years later, it's now the go-to. It's still the go-to. It remains the go-to pharmacological treatment for treating diabetes. Of course, we know the best way to treat diabetes is not with a prescription drug. Diabetes is completely reversible. Even type 1 diabetes might not be reversible because of the autoimmune nature, but it can be controlled. All right, do one more and we'll get to your phone calls here. This one is from Human Molecular Genetics, the journal Human Molecular Genetics. Antibiotics could be a promising treatment for a form of dementia. Researchers have found a class of antibiotics that could be promising for treating frontotemporal dementia. Frontotemporal means the front of your brain, basically. Front and side of your brain, I believe. It's a specific kind of dementia. They like to divide dementias into different, based on the area, the geographical or topographical area in the brain that the dementia that the deterioration of the brain occurs in. I say that doesn't even matter. That's silly. It doesn't matter if the deterioration is in the front or in the back or in the left or the right. It matters that there's deterioration. lunacy to think that where the brain deteriorates is more important than the fact that the brain is deteriorating. If we just figure out why the brain is deteriorating, it doesn't matter if it's left, right, up, down, middle, anywhere else. So how do you do that? Well, we know that Alzheimer's dementia is associated with elevated blood sugar. They call it type 3 diabetes. We know there's a major gut-brain connection. We know that the brain burns through nutrients faster than any other organ in the body. We know that the brain is very responsive to cortisol, stress hormone. That's called the triangle of disease. If you have any dementia, even if you're just forgetful when you're getting older, you don't even have to have full-blown dementia. Even if you're just a little forgetful as you get older, start doing strategies that you would be doing as if you had dementia. Get on a supplement program, number one. Make sure you're using essential fats, especially, and all good fats for that matter. Brain is a fatty organ. It's very dependent on fats for energy. The ketogenic diet is great for people on dementia or people who want to just improve their cognitive functioning for that matter. That's where the relationship between the brain and ketones is where the ketogenic diet actually first started. It was an seizure diet, anti-seizure diet. This article on antibiotics talks about how they use this stuff called gentamicin, which is a really nasty antibiotic. It's not even used anymore because it's so nasty. Excuse me. It's FDA approved, of course, but its use is very limited because it's so unpleasant. But they're fine that this antibiotic may have some benefits for folks who have dementia. Well, is it bacteria or is it the inflammation? Antibiotics are anti-inflammatory. And if it's the inflammation, do we really want to use an antibiotic, especially a toxic one, in order to take care of the inflammation? No, I don't think so. Use nutrition, reduce your sugar. This is for dementia, for cognitive functioning, for memory as we get older, or even when you're younger. Use the Mighty 90, focus on fats, lay off of problem foods, lower your blood sugar. Where have you heard this stuff before? Practice your slow, deep breathing, activate the vagus nerve. It's all the same thing. Alzheimer's disease is arthritis of the brain. It's all the same thing. It's acne of the brain. It's all the same thing. It's eczema of the brain. It's all the same thing. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll return right after this. On the bright side, 844-236-6010 is our number. Lines open for you. Let's go to Dorium in Virginia. Good morning, my friend Dorium. Happy New Year to you. I don't think I've spoken to you this year yet. How's it going, my man?
Happy New Year. I'm doing great, actually.
Okay.
I'm just calling regarding a customer that says he has difficulty walking, especially with his left leg.
How old is he?
He is about 45.
Really? And are you doing the longevity business?
Yes.
Okay, great. How's it going? How's the longevity business going for you?
I just started. It's doing okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good. So, you're a smart guy. I know you're going to do well. And 45 years old, if he's limping, there's lots of things that could go on. It's not a good thing. First, did he have any injury? Did he take a fall?
He told me no. No,
he's just randomly limping.
Stroke.
All of a sudden, he's limping.
Yes.
Needs some body work. He's probably been walking funny his whole life, and now it's starting. Old age is starting. Well, he's not old, but as he's starting to age, the funny way of walking is putting stress on different parts of his body. He's more at risk for tearing something, for ruptures, for hernias, for back pain. He's more at risk for a whole lot of physiologic misery. I would be getting body work as soon as possible, especially rolfing. And I have talked about rolfing before. It is an amazingly valuable, maybe the most valuable body work anyone can do. It's better than any chiropractor. I mean, I like chiropractors, but the benefits of rolfing are far transcendent to any manipulation a chiropractor can do. And I like chiropractory. But rolfing is just super important for breaking up scar tissue, breaking up adhesions, breaking up fibroids that form after minor injuries even, or after surgical procedures, or just after decades of walking the wrong way. You know, we take walking for granted, but there is a certain correct way to walk with your body, and if you don't do it, there's loads and stresses on the musculature and on the connective tissue that can create problems, and that's what it sounds like we're dealing with if he doesn't have an injury. Now, as far as nutrition goes, there's lots of things he could do to help improve the situation, but he's going to need to get some body, in my opinion, he'll probably need some body work, but essential fats are very important. Vitamin E is very important. The minerals are all going to be very important, particularly zinc and calcium and magnesium. Those would be important if he's got just the general stuff. If he's got any digestive health challenges, he needs to work on those. But first thing I would do is I would start looking in the phone book for a good role for, hopefully he's in a big city where he can find one. That's what I would do. All right?
Thank you so much.
All right, buddy.
Yes.
All right, good to talk to you. Thank you. Yeah, as we age, all kinds of, also maybe, I forgot, Dorian, the glucogel caps might help also. And also digestive enzymes can help too when you have a scar tissue forming, although if you don't have that body work done, the nutritional supplements aren't going to really make a big difference. The body work aspect, taking care of the physical, the mechanics of the body is super important, and something as simple as stretching in the morning can go a long way towards reducing pain, back pain, connective tissue pain, fibromyalgia pain. Something as simple as stretching in the morning for 5 minutes, let alone if you spend a half hour doing yoga once a week or twice a week or 5 days a week or 6 days a week for that matter. And don't underestimate the power of yoga, of physical yoga. It's not new age airy-fairy. It's hardcore physiology, and it's an incredible body strategy. And also massage and rolfing too, for that matter. All right, 844-236-6010. Let's say good morning to my long-lost friend, the Truth Raider. What's up, Carl? How you doing, man?
That
Just
would
me
be
and you.
me. Happy New Decade.
Happy new, happy
Sam.
2020. Nice to talk to you. First time this year?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, well, let's start off this way.
Yes.
Let's start with some good news.
Yes.
My longtime knee pain is apparently it's repaired itself.
How'd you pull that off? What did you do? Did it do it all by itself, or did you do something?
Just over time, just being patient, nutrition, just waiting it out. It took a good took over 6 months to a year before it feels completely better. But 2 years ago, the doctor wanted to operate on it. He wanted to go on some type of laser or a scope in there or something like that, take out any materials and tissues and tie anything together that might be loose, prepare any cartilage that he might need as it done. But it did it on its own without any of that and without having to pay $15,000 to him, so that way he can pay off his mortgage or pay off his boat or yacht or whatever.
Now. Let's keep it clean here. Let's be positive.
But I have a work problem.
But hang on, Carl. You were doing your supplements, right? I mean, you were doing certain things.
I was doing supplements. I had pharmacist Ben's collagen supplement, chocolate powder.
You took the collagen. You took the collagen recovery. Are you using collagen recovery complex?
Yes, from time to time I add it to my coffee. I just kind of sneak it in on everything. That's what I do.
All right, nice.
So that way I don't know I'm taking it. I'm just, it'll go into my system. It'll be a supplement to what I already take already.
All
and
right.
it'll be kind of insidious, and it'll be somewhat covert, where I don't even know I'm receiving that nutrition. And then after a while, things start repairing and getting better on their own.
Well, I'm glad I could be a part of your therapy there. What's going on today? How can I help you?
Thank you. So now I have a problem with my shoulder, and also got another strange incident, a medical thing that's going on. This is the second time. About 3-4 years ago, I had a toenail that was bending and growing, and it was kind of strange. So I kind of bent it to try to take it out, and my whole toenail came out. Well, the same thing happened about 6-8 weeks ago. My whole toenail and the bedding and everything all just came out. I don't know what that's all about.
I think you're falling apart there. You're disintegrating.
Yeah, but it grows
You're like
back.
the Wicked Witch in the
It's
West.
toenail now.
You're like the Wicked Witch of the West.
In this place. That's strange.
Do you remember? Hey, Carl. Do you remember the Wizard of Oz at the end where the witch goes, "I'm melting, I'm melting." That's you.
I'm melting. Yeah. I'm regrowing. I don't know. I'm melting down, or that I'm recreating myself again. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe.
So
Did you get a new nail? Did a new nail come in?
Yeah, it did. It's growing a new nail, and it's
okay. That's good.
So I don't know what's going on.
That's good. Out with the old, in with the new. Maybe the old stuff was all decrepit, and now you're getting stronger tissue coming in. That's good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's something that might be unique to my own system. I don't know. My own metabolic system.
How old are you, Carl? How old are you? 55. Wow. Yep. How'd that happen so quick?
I'm feeling it in my shoulder, in my
Yeah?
shoulder band. I got to figure out how I'm going to heal this. This is my real problem.
Carl, I'm going to talk to you, but I'm going to talk to other people too. If you're 55, you're starting to in your late 50s, and you've been able to get away with a lot of stuff, Carl, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to everybody. When you're 55, 56, 57, you'll notice you're no longer able to get away with it. It's very clear. If you're smoking, if you're drinking, if you're eating crappy, if you're not supplementing, if you're stressing out a lot, if you're working too hard, if your relationships suck, it's going to start to get way worse. And this is where the rubber meets the road once late 50s, early 60s. You know, the window starts to shrink. And you start to have to, you start to pay the piper a little bit if you don't make changes, and it's very, very important that you do. And you've been doing a lot of good stuff for sure, Carl. But I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to everybody else. Now is the time to really max out on the supplements, max out on the, I say the word discipline. I don't have any discipline myself, so I hesitate to tell anybody to have discipline because I don't have any. But you really have to start to do that. If you have addictions, it's time to think about quitting. The whole nature of addiction is another thing. When we're addicted, what we're doing is we're acting out a childhood strategy for coping. As we get older, the childhood strategy for coping, whether it's, and you can feel that child, that inner child. Behind any addiction is an inner child that you can feel. And if it's sugar or cigarettes or beer, whatever it is, if it's an addiction that's ruining your health, but you're doing it anyway, that's how I define an addiction, where you know it's bad for you, but you still do it. Feel that inner child that's behind there, that's screaming, that doesn't want to quit, because that's the only coping mechanism he knows, that cigarette. And begin to address your addiction at that level. And now is the time, in your late 50s, early 60s, is the time to do it. You can get away with stuff when you're younger, up until 50, even up to 55, I consider that to be younger. But once 55 hits, Carl, the Truth Raider, that's what you. And I'm going to be personally, I'm going to be 60 here pretty soon too. What's that?
Yeah, the crossroad years, in other words.
There's kind of like a crossroads, and I'm right there with you, a little bit ahead, actually. Hey, Carl, we're out of time, buddy, but thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. And a Happy New Year to you, and God bless you, and good luck with everything. Good luck with your nails and your body and everything else. And that's just how it is, folks. That's just how it is, folks. When we get older, we lose that big window that we have when we're younger, and we say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year." Somewhere around the middle of your 50s, that is no longer true. And everybody needs longevity. Everybody needs the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, but especially as you approach your 60s, it becomes uber important that you get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. That's why we're here. That's why Longevity's here. And hopefully that's why you're here, to help change your life using nutritional supplementation. And we'll be here tomorrow to talk about the same thing. We'll talk about the skin and the vagus nerve tomorrow. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We will talk to y'all later. Bye for now.